Have you ever wondered why so many travelers are skipping the United States these days? As America embraces an America First approach to foreign policy, a growing number of non-Americans find themselves feeling, quite literally, unwelcome. It isn't a pandemic or a natural disaster keeping visitors away. No, it's neither a terror attack nor an economic downturn, though the effects on the tourism industry are remarkably dire. Instead, it is a deliberate, policy-driven contraction, a slow-motion implosion of international travel to the United States unfolding almost imperceptibly beneath the global radar. In 2019, international visitors poured more than $230 billion into the U.S. economy, patronizing hotels, restaurants, museums, theme parks, and national landmarks. Those days now seem distant. The pandemic caused a precipitous drop, from which the world's tourism markets have largely rebounded, except for the United States. In 2025, the U.S. is on track to collect under $169 billion in international visitor spending, down from $181 billion the year before. That $12 billion loss in just 12 months represents more than statistics. It is a stark warning signal of friction rippling outward from Washington to airports, borders, and every Main Street cafe across the nation. The reasons for this downturn lie not in global wanderlust. Global travel is booming, but in policies. Tariffs, trade wars, diplomatic spats, and tighter entry rules have combined to erect barriers that deter even the most enthusiastic tourists. When you impose a 25% tariff on your neighbor's goods, as the Trump administration did with Canada, the response goes beyond counter tariffs. Citizens simply stop coming. Canada, historically the largest source of foreign tourists to the United States, saw a nearly 20% drop in its citizens' travel here this year. That single decline wiped out millions of trips and the spending that would have flowed into American hotels, restaurants, airports, tour operators, and shops. Canada is far from the only nation reacting this way. People from Mexico, the United Kingdom, France, Japan, and Germany are pulling back in a similar fashion. Overall, international arrivals to the U.S. are expected to fall by nearly 9% this year, translating directly into the loss of over $12 billion in visitor spending. Instead of filling their plates with burgers and fries, travelers are now funneling their budgets into Europe, Asia, Latin America, anywhere but here. Political isolationism has even driven governments to issue formal travel advisories. China's government, citing rising hostility, economic friction, and national security concerns, urged citizens to reconsider trips to the United States. That cautionary note hit at a time when Chinese tourism had been one of the fastest-growing segments worldwide, bringing billions into coastal cities, national monuments, and theme parks. Now, the flow of Chinese visitors has slowed to a trickle. In Europe, anger over doubled U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum has led the European Union to plan retaliatory measures. Stricter visa requirements, reduced promotional spending on American destinations, and private discouragement of transatlantic travel. Booking data tell the tale. European reservations to the U.S. are down, while American bookings to Europe are rising. It's not coincidence, it's the tangible shift in sentiment created by trade policy. Even America's border crossing has become more burdensome. Visa waits have lengthened, fingerprinting and entry screenings have intensified, and rules for short-term tourist visas have grown unpredictable. Foreign visitors now fear being detained, interrogated, or sent home, even with valid documentation. Germany and Spain have both updated their travel advisories to warn citizens that a U.S. visa is no guarantee of entry. Canada's advisory advises travelers to expect extended screenings and potential customs delays. Faced with a choice between a hassle-free vacation in Paris, Tokyo, or Barcelona and uncertain, stressful entry into the United States, many choose the former. Political debates have even seeped into birth tourism. The administration's pledge to deny visas to anyone suspected of entering the country to give birth has become a flashpoint, spawning headlines across Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. That policy has added yet another layer of suspicion at U.S. entry points, further discouraging families from planning what had once been a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Airlines, too, are feeling the pinch. Carriers such as Lufthansa, British Airways, Air France, and Iberia have begun cutting routes to U.S. cities, shifting capacity toward markets with stronger demand. Miami, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, once bustling international hubs, are seeing reduced frequencies. Meanwhile, U.S. airlines brace for lighter loads as operating costs rise under the weight of higher tariffs on aircraft parts, maintenance components, and fuel inputs. It is a double squeeze: fewer planes, fewer passengers, but whose fault? Tariffs have pushed up the cost of doing business in America, and airlines large and small